Alright guys, welcome back to the Literal TV YouTube channel. I'm so excited to get into the second video. So I'm going to get straight into things. I'll talk more about the channel later in the video. So, thank you guys for tuning in. So today we're talking about the season that I believe saved Big Brother. A lot of people said it fell off, and honestly, I understand why. I still enjoyed Big Brother 25, even though Jag stunk to me. That's a personal opinion, obviously. He seems like a nice guy, but we're going to straight into things. We're going to talk about Big Brother 26 today. So I got some suggestions. I got to do a player ranking. I'm going to include a player ranking in here, but not in terms of gameplay. I'm going to discuss the 3 things that I believe saved Big Brother 26 and Big Brother as a whole, as I think Big Brother was at a bit of a breaking point. You know, like, they were doing a lot of things wrong. I think they had a lot of questionable choices in twists. They had a lot of questionable choices with Julie's hair. They had a lot of questionable choices in terms of casting at points as well. Even though I think the most recent seasons have had good casting, but they cast Christmas on All Stars, bro. Anyway, so yeah, we can get right into 3 main things that I think affected it. And first up, I'm going to talk about the cast. Today, we're going to go through the cast. We're going to go from who I think was the worst casting decision to the best. And I'm combining gameplay and character and who really affected the show in a positive way. Number 16, off the bat. A little countdown for you. We've got Kenny. Kenny K. Sweet Kenny K. He was awful. Genuinely. Like, listen, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but he was just like a lost dad on this season. He shouldn't have been here. I don't know how he got cast. I think it was kind of like his videos, he seemed fun, I guess, on Instagram, whatever, or TikTok, I think he had before. I don't get the decision. Like, you can tell the show hated him, because he was kind of just trying to quit a lot of the time. And I get it, he wanted to go home to his hot wife, and his wife is hot, but the show hated him. They gave him a hot dog comic for Big Brother Comics. The guy, it was awful. Anyway, Kenny, not very good. I'm not going to talk much positives on Kenny. Next up, we have Lisa, who I think was a huge filler pick. She was the second boot. She lasted longer than I think Big Brother expected. I think they cast her as the first boot. She had some fun moments, but she was obnoxious. You know, she had the beef with Tucker, which wasn't shown on the edit enough. Like, in my opinion, that was some of the most fun content. I don't think they really wanted to show Tucker too much in the early weeks. I don't think really providing what they wanted, but then obviously, we'll get to Tucker later, obviously. But yeah, I think Lisa could have been fun in terms of like a meme character, but yeah, she's not. She's still stunk. And then next up, we're gonna talk number 14, Cam. He made all the way to final 3, but that I'm trying to mix it with, okay, gameplay wise, he played a very good social game, I think. And like, shout out all my dogs at the crib. Some great memes with Cam, but he has like genuinely no personality. Like, I was watching this season with my mum. Genuine shock when Cam comes on. You're like, oh shit, it's Cam. It's like, watching Cam on Big Brother 26 is like playing Where's Waldo. It's like once in a blue moon you'll see the guy. I honestly, Where's Waldo fucking pisses me off. Anyway, next up, number 13, we're actually going with Joseph, someone that I really liked going into the season, and I think he just came off like a Dan ripoff. Like, he had a lot of potential. I think he's more old school casting. An old season, he does very well. We're talking like Big Brother 10. This guy could have like Dan upside, except he can't win any comps. Dan was good at like a few comps. Yeah, this guy, I actually really like this type of player, but he was just Sleepy Joe, and that's a shame. He wasn't good for current BB. He doesn't fit the format, which is a lot more comp heavy. But I think the comps on this season were better in terms of being equitable, which is shocking because this guy seems smart, but I guess not. He really confuses me. Like, is he a mustache twirling Redditor, or is he like a secret genius? Maybe he's both. I don't know. Anyway, number 12, we have Takor. So, my main issue with Takor is, or Tikor, she's too British. This is a weird gripe I have, is British people on, I'm British, but I don't like British people on American shows. The accent mixing, it's same with Australians. That's why I don't like Bowie Jane. I can't deal with like the accent mixing. Maybe that's racist. No, I'm British actually, what? But yeah, she didn't put up enough of a fight when she was nominated, but she was a really good social player. I do want to credit her for that. And we're kind of going to keep that trend up with Rubina, you know. I did like her a bit more because she's attractive. No, I did, listen, I do follow her on Instagram, which gave me some extra insight. I think I know why they cast her. Like, you go on her Instagram, and it's a lot of, like, you know, motivational roller skating videos. She had a personality, but she was just an influencer type, really. That isn't the best casting, in my opinion, but, listen, I think recruitment is very good. I actually like that they recruit people. But I don't like the people they recruit all the time, because Rubina is a just not a good pick, as she must be a recruit. She just didn't provide enough for me, and I know that's like kind of hating, but yeah, I wish we got more from Rubina. Wasted potential. I think she could be great. Anyway, next up, we have Chemo at number 10. Now, he was very likable, actually. I do like Chemo. He just didn't do enough after the big, like, Brooklyn blindside. Like, he did great up until then, slowly building capital, and then he just fell off. He was like a bit of a failed Jam, sorry. Don't get me in trouble. I didn't watch Survivor 44 for a while, so I thought it was Jam. He felt like kind of trying to do that, like, the bigger, like, gay, like, I don't think Jam's Hawaiian, I think he's Puerto Rico, but yeah, it felt like they were trying to do that, but he was nothing like Jam, and it didn't work. But I think there's potential. But get Jam on Big Brother, bro. Number 9 is honestly a shock that it's this high, but I was like, okay, we're thinking what they provided. We're going with Matt, number 9, like the first boot. He's a great train wreck. He was amazing for the kind of first week chaos. The first night of feeds, he was just in the storage room for so long with like Mackenzie, and it was just a mess. Now, I'm going to be honest, he was annoying out of the house after, but it's funny to me, like, how annoying he is. Like, I have a friend who just blocked him on TikTok and stuff, and listen, I won't go that far, but he is a bit annoying. But hey, crazy eyes. But he had one of the most iconic moments of the season, but I do kind of credit the other person involved with that more, so we'll get to them later. But right now we have MJ, which honestly might be too high, but I don't want to discredit that she played a good game, and in terms of comps, she played an awful game at Final 3, and she kind of felt like filler pick. Pre-jury, I didn't care for her. Jury, I didn't either, but listen, she at least played a decent game, but she was just never beating Chelsea. Yeah, so, next up, number 7, we have Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn was very good villain casting, but they did cast her knowing she was friends with a racist, so that was questionable. She did flop, but she had like the charcuterie board moment, which I do credit more to Angela, because it wouldn't really be a moment without that. We also have her throwing the stuff on the floor, which was just random. I don't know really where it came from, but she had a big fall off, but it was a great week to watch. And yeah, I do think Brooklyn has potential, but she, like, get her on like Survivor, because she crashed out. She wasn't made for like the long format. Number 6, I actually give to Cedric. Now, he's a very likable guy. My issue is he kind of sounds like the smiley emoji when he talks. He's very happy. Honestly, too nice. Like, I don't know how real it is, but listen, he's a lovable guy. I really like him. Like, he seems like a good person, but he was just... fall off was crazy. Why volunteer for the block? Listen, I understand why people volunteer for the block sometimes, but not when this AI arena, because when this AI arena, you volunteer in, you don't know who you're going to be against in the end. As well as AI arena, though, there's also the fact that his ally was head household. Anyway, number 5, we're moving on to Leah. Now, Leah, I wasn't a big fan of Leah, actually. I wasn't huge on her, especially the first half of the season. She kind of was just asleep. Like, it took her to like final 9. She was okay at final 10 and stuff when she won the veto, but she kind of slept half the season, but she was always going to be a Twitter favourite and a good choice to cast by production, because they had the whole chubby chase thing. I didn't even think she was a chubby chaser. I think it was found out, like, she just made that up. But they kept going with it, and it was like, oh, stop mentioning she's fucking chubby chaser. She's not. She said it on the feeds, I swear. But yeah, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, number 4, Chelsea. She was too good. She was too predictable of a winner after, like, jury started. It was like her or Takar, and then Takar fell off. I do kind of get the Casey charisma in the diary room. I've made that comparison before with some people, and I think she is charismatic, but she's really boring when she's being charismatic. I don't know how to explain it. I don't laugh when she talks. I don't feel emotion when she talks, but she is charismatic, and I don't want to take that away from her, because that is still a good thing to have. Next up, we have number 3 is actually Quinn. A lot of people hate on Quinn. I don't like that, because he's my lookalike. He's my Big Brother lookalike. Listen though, Quinn, awful player, but great bad gameplay. He's a huge nerd of the game. I appreciate that. I probably play like Quinn, I'm not going to lie. And he was really likable, honestly, for me. He's a very charismatic guy, played a very loud game, and I really appreciated that game. And the beef he had with Tucker was the best TV of the season for me, as they kept going back and forth. And I think they really both played into that, which helped. Yeah, it was really good to see that kind of beef go on. And I think people really don't give Quinn his flowers because they didn't like him. I understand that, because if you don't like someone, you don't have to, like, glaze them. But listen, he's a fun guy. He's a likable guy. Anyway, number 2 now. We're on to
Crazy Eyes.
Angela. I know, Angela's number 2. A lot of people think Angela should be number 1. Listen, she's very messy. Crazy Eyes. I don't know how she passed the checks to go in, judging by week 1. But listen, that gilf played hard. And yeah, I understand people not liking her in a way, but I don't understand people thinking she isn't good TV. She's amazing TV. Crazy Eyes was insane. I don't know where Big Brother Production found her. Well, I actually kind of do. She was on a lot of random game shows. But yeah. Anyway, Angela. Amazing casting decision. Next up, number 1, we're going on to Tucker, America's favourite. I'm a Tucker Glazer, straight up, best TV in years, honestly. Not the best player at all. I think he has very good social potential. Strategic, I don't know. He's like a shoo-in to be brought back, though. Amazing run on this season, genuinely. Listen, I'm not gay, but, like, I'm not even going to finish that, whatever. But yeah, great job by Tucker. I don't need to glaze anymore. The casting was amazing. This cast was... Honestly, I see upside to everyone apart from Kenny. I have positives to say about everyone apart from Kenny as well. Sorry, Kenny. Listen, I just said basically the same point twice. That's how bad he was. But he's a lovely guy. Anyway, yeah, that's the cast. Next up, we're going to move on to the twists. So, some of this stuff you're not going to agree with. But let's go with the thing that you will agree with. The AI Arena was an incredible twist and really brought like the live double eviction element. And the season was still solid at points after that. But the AI Arena portion of the game was so much more entertaining. There was so much confusion on votes. People trying to flip things despite not knowing who's up. I think people actually wanted to control more because they didn't know who was going to be up. And I thought that really made it entertaining because it was like a little double every week. And the live moments are the most entertaining parts of the game. It saves underdogs as well. Someone's playing a big game, they can save themselves one more time. You can't backdoor. Backdoors have become so boring, I'm sorry. And I know that people say, oh, it keeps comp beasts safe. People don't really go for comp beasts too much until at least late pre-jury. Like, Big Brother 25, yeah, Cameron and Jared were like the last 2 boots of pre-jury, and then Cameron obviously came back. But there was a whole thing. Well, I know Nicole, whatever. Anyway, Big Brother 24, no one hugely good at comps went home pre-jury. It's not something that happens early anyway, so people are actually more likely to target the commies because there's more people to target, and they can say, oh, just up as a pawn. I think it's fun. Next up, the twist that I'm looking at is actually the 2-night move-in. So I don't know if a lot of people would agree with this. There's upside and downside, but I really liked getting to know the cast in just a full episode of just them. And it was pre-recorded, but not too much where we didn't get feeds for a week. I really liked how that worked out, but we did have to see the same exact episode twice, which I didn't like. I wish that it was more different. I just wish they weren't so similar. It's like the whole VT with Ainsley, again, it was like, at least do like a male version or something. But yeah, that's fine. Next up, number 3 though, my third twist on here is the AI Instigator. I don't think the AI Instigator twist worked to perfection, but it's really a move in the right direction, bringing us back to those Big Brother 12 Saboteur days, Big Brother 8 America's Player days, even Big Brother 10 as well had that. Those twists were so fun. Even the Saboteur for a week. I know Reagan came back and did it. It was really fun to see these types of twists come back and actually see it from the perspective of the player and their choices instead of the Saboteur. I really liked how it worked out, even though it didn't go the best. It was just an excuse to give Tucker some cash, but it still ended up being a fun little twist, and I like twists like this. I think we need to focus more on stuff like this than like voting for a power, because voting for a power gets really messy, and I really liked how this worked out. I also think the powers twist as an honourable mention early on was really fun. I think it added a lot to the dynamics of the pre-jury. A lot of people talking about the powers constantly. A lot of people thought there was going to be like double votes. That was discussed a lot on the feeds, and it was like, okay, chill, that's a shit power. No one cares about double votes. Most of the votes on seasons are unanimous, so they weren't this season. Very good season for that reason. Okay, my final reason for this season saving Big Brother really is it was just a perfect storm. It was just pure chaos all season, really. Like, obviously, a lot of the big players got taken out, and final 5 really was onwards just a snooze fest. But that's just more than Big Brother. I'm not really going to fault that. I don't think that was a production issue, as they still kept around some of the big players way longer than they should have. Angela at Final 6 is insane. It's a shame she went home in the double, because she nearly won at a household. No. But yeah, people like Angela causing chaos, just constantly crazy eyes, Quinn with his awful head of household reigns, and Tucker just being Tucker. Like his moments, which everyone knows Tucker if you watch this season. You need to watch the season if you haven't, please. Pre-jury is one of my favorite pre-juries in Big Brother history. The chaos was insane, some great moments. Also, Janky Week was just a really chaotic week in terms of whatever they decided to do with production. I loved it. More of just random stuff. Next up, we had some great gameplay on this season. Now, great gameplay, it was kind of boring gameplay, but I'm not going to fault Chelsea for that. I think it was great to have a mix of great gameplay and great moments because you don't want a bad winner. Listen, Big Brother 24, winner, honestly, Taylor seems like a great person once again. Not my favourite winner as a game player, but listen, Big Brother 25, Jag, oh my god, I'm sorry, Jag did not play a good game. Honestly, Jag's game might be worse than Boy Jane's, but yeah, listen, this season had probably the best player since Big Brother 22 in Cody. So yeah, that might be a hot take, I don't know. Finally, honestly, production on this season was great. The competitions were more equitable, and a lot of people say that I think we had some female combis this season. Yeah, it was great to see some more interesting outcomes happening. Like Angela winning multiple head of households is insane. Obviously, she lost one of them, but it's still crazy that happened. That wouldn't happen before. Like I was shocked when Felicia won last season. The equitable comps were insane to have on. They were great, and finally, the twists. I already talked about it. Like the production, this is all production stuff, the casting, all that. But I'm being a production glazer because they really are listening to fans a lot in recent season, it feels like. We had Pressure Cooker come back in 25, and they had the spelling comp back in 26. I was so happy to see the spelling comp. That's my favourite comp. Honestly, though, that's it. Big Brother 26 was a great season. Great winner, great America's favourite, iconic moments, some actually really fun fights, which we've been missing out on. Fights are some of my favourite parts of the seasons, I'm a very character-focused person on these things, so I mixed gameplay and character for these rankings for that reason. Well, as I love gameplay, I love big moves, but listen, big moves, you can't always rely on them to be good TV, but fights, listen, I'm going to make a very interesting video at some point about Big Brother 9. You'll see how I feel about fights. But yeah, that's it for me today. I just want to quickly say thank you for all the support on the first video. I'm really excited to do more of these things. I'm going to try to do one every week or so. I've not got a set day for things though so far, so it's just going to be within 7 days of the last upload essentially. But yeah, it's been really fun doing these, and in the future expect some more videos like this. I'm going to talk about Big Brother 9 in more in depth than this. Yeah, expect some fun stuff, and comment down below what you want to see. Please subscribe, support the channel. Yeah, I've been Travis from Literal TV. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.